Hello, world, and welcome to episode 8 of the Brothers Blue podcast. With that being said, today we are going to talk about election stuff. That is literally what I'm calling it. We're going to talk about the Electoral College specifically and the election that just happened, the presidential election that just happened. So, with that being said, that's Brother Kyle.
And that is brother Cody. So the first point about the election that we're going to get into is the popular vote because that's why it's called the popular vote. It's not based on population, it's based on who is popular. Yeah,
Right.
obviously. So I just, because you mentioned that you think Trump is popular and he's only won the popular vote once in the three times that he was the major candidate in a
Right.
party system. He
Right.
won the popular vote once, but it was with a smaller amount of votes than anybody that beat him. So, especially considering population growth, more people didn't vote for him than voted for him in every election. And that's just like goes into his popularity. I get it. Like he is popular with a solid half of the country.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
I
like
wouldn't put
that's
it any
the
higher than that.
yeah, and it's not that I'm arguing that he has like 60% popularity in these, but yeah, I mean that's really what it is like especially in places like I don't know, Kentucky and Kansas, places where Trump's just gonna win no matter what. And I don't know, it's just not fair.
Yeah, well, that goes into the electoral college thing. No
Oh
offense,
yeah.
this isn't really about the popularity thing because again, I feel like you're kind of I'm glad. I hope you can concede that Joe Biden got 80 million votes. The most
Right.
Donald Trump has ever gotten was 73, 77, 77 million.
So
Biden got 3 million more, or like 5 million. He got a substantial amount more in an election that occurred uh years previous, in which population growth needs to be taken into account, as well as voter turnout. Turnout was higher in
yeah.
2020 than it was in 2024.
Right, which is weird because and that was the thing is like mail-in voting surged so much at that time because we're dealing with COVID. And that's the funny thing too is like I actually went and like voted in person for Joe Biden um in 2020 and like I was wearing my mask and I did, I was doing the whole thing. I was already vaccinated, whatever. Um
I was one of the fraudulent Arizona mail-in votes.
exactly. So, thank you because there is something that neither of us put down in our notes and I might as well just bring it up while it's fresh in my mind is that so in 2016, Donald Trump won the election, and that was a free and fair election. In 2020, Joe Biden won the election due to it being rigged by Democrats. And then in 2024, we once again had a free and fair election that elected Donald Trump. So when Donald Trump runs for president and wins, it's free and fair. But if he loses, it's rigged by the Democrats.
Yeah. I mean, this is a totally different point that we'll get to later, but it actually kind of,
We didn't write it down, so
well, no, it's only something that happens to
Mm.
Republicans. Yeah, so we'll get to that
Yep.
later. The
Yep, you're
fact
right.
that never has a Democrat won or lost the popular vote, won the electoral college, and become president. That has only happened with Republicans, but we'll get to that later. The next point actually is your note from FD Signifier, which I think
Yeah.
would be good if you want to. Do you have that
Yeah.
quote pulled up? You should read that. Yeah.
I'm really excited that you think the same thing because yeah, so FD Signifier is a guy on YouTube. You can look him up. You should watch his stuff. And he has a quote that literally describes how I feel right now. And you could replace the word Georgia with Pennsylvania. So, here in the swing state of Pennsylvania, I voted for Kamala Harris. I didn't do this out of alignment of the politics that Kamala represented or what she ran on, especially in the latter part of her campaign. I didn't do this with the mythical hope that she would be pushed left. That just doesn't happen. I voted for Kamala Harris because of the two devils I was faced with. I preferred her. I actually want to add on to that. I'm going to be fine. I'm a white dude in Western Pennsylvania. Donald Trump being president is not going to be that bad for me.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
it.
yeah, well, I just agree entirely. Really, and I'd go even further. Like, I would say, who is president doesn't have a whole lot of effect on my life because of the
Same.
privilege that
Yep.
is just
Exactly.
inherent with my identity as a
Correct.
white cisgendered male. Like, I have the world in front of me, and I'm an American.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Is like that I've been wanting to bring up off camera, but like we're lucky to have been born, and then we're even more lucky to have been born in America.
Yeah, it's
So
called the existential lottery. We kind of won.
yeah, yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep. You're right.
yeah,
My life's not that hard, even though I've worked 55 hours the last 2 weeks straight. So
yeah, dude. Well, and I always like I'm a high school teacher, so I'm like
we were
literally
talking about, yeah.
the epitome of like an underpaid worker. But I also told you that like I moonlight as a bartender, and dude, the Jewish wedding that I got to work this weekend was
Yeah.
one of the best experiences of my life. So yeah,
Cool. Yeah. Very cool.
tangent, but I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. Like
No, but
the point, it's like my life is not that bad. It's not going to be bad. Like, yeah,
yeah,
I'm going to continue to have good times.
yeah. And like so tangentially as well is dude, we donated like 20 pounds of food today to yeah, the Pittsburgh homeless shelter. So yeah, like we try, you know, just out here trying to be good.
Just out here trying.
So my next note is the Electoral College will continue to and perpetually give advantage to the Republican Party, which I think is something that is kind of a sentiment that is like the overall idea of our notes, unfortunately. Um,
Well, okay, so and this is what is really kind of like unfortunate because I don't want to get it too much into the stereotypes, but ultimately what you said is that the electoral college advantages the Republican Party. And by that what you're really saying is that it offers a again a an advantage to rural voters. And
Thank you. Thank
rural
you.
voters are demographically Republican and white. Sorry,
And poor.
that's just
And poor.
reality. Like, yeah,
And poor.
and poverty let's put a scientific word to it. Yeah, they are often
Sure.
impoverished as well.
So that's my thing is like the Republicans are winning, and that's like my final note. So that
Yeah.
sucks that I'm going there already. But anyways, that's where
No.
they're winning, dude. They are winning with poor white people. The majority of the people in this country are poor and white. Like that's just all there is to it.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry. Like we're both white dudes, and like I wouldn't say I'm poor, but like I'm not.
we all struggle. Like
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not well off.
I'm in the bottom 99%. So yeah.
Yeah, and so this goes into the whole thing about them winning the political game because like I kind of totally agree the fact that we have people like Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene
Oh man. Yeah.
in like serving in Congress, and these are like lunatics, and the lunatics on our side are people
Right.
like Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, and it's like, yeah, that's a crazy. I can get much more on board with. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's
Our
why I would
outland.
say the Republicans are winning the politics game because they can get loony. Like they literally have
Yep.
people like that in positions of power.
It's like they have carte blanche with craziness,
Yeah, it's almost not in that. So
right?
it is again a reaction, and this is another thing that I we didn't really make notes about, but like I just like been thinking about is the idea again, like everybody or a lot of people are saying that like the left won the culture war because everybody's
No,
like
we
a
did.
blue-haired lesbian now. And yeah, that's essentially the argument that I hear all the time is that obviously Republicans have won the political game, but we won the culture game or the culture war as
Sure.
it's called.
Sure.
And now uh generally what happens to the people that lose a war, they get a glow up after, like Europe, like Japan after World War II. They literally were like invested in so heavily that they like became like beautiful places to just like be, and like that is again like losing the culture war, unfortunately, is what a lot of like reactionaries, literally that's why they're called reactionaries, is because they're reacting to this craziness on the left. And what's
Mhm.
funny is they are the ones who are actually winning now, like the fact that Elon Musk owns Twitter, and like yeah, it's like okay, so we won the culture war, and now that you lost it, you're doing what Japan and Europe did after they lost World War II. Yeah,
It's so insane to think about the left winning the culture war when there's so much right-wing media that's like just out there all the time in your face. At least that's how I feel.
well,
Um,
yeah, sorry.
anyway, no, we're getting off, and so I want to bring it back. And so the Electoral College specifically continues and will always favor Republicans. And so three times in history,
Thank you.
A Republican has won the Electoral College while losing the popular vote. This has never happened for a Democrat. That's
Yeah,
my thing. It's
can I just
like
put them real quick?
it has never happened for a Democrat and will never happen for a Democrat.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened in these three elections is the Republican lost the popular vote but won
Right.
the electoral college and therefore
Right.
became president. This
Right.
happened in the election of 1888, the election of 2000, and the election of 2016.
Got it.
Yeah, it has never happened for a Democrat where won or lost the popular vote, but won the electoral college and therefore became president. That has only ever happened for Republicans. So your statement that it favors Republicans is proof in the pudding right there.
Yeah, and so the point that I'll bring back that you brought up is I think it's important to maybe finish, unless you have some other notes, is that it gives outweighted credence to voters that are rural. And when you are rural, you're generally what I said before, white and poor. Most rural areas in America are poor white areas. It's where we grew up.
Yeah, in the trailer park. Like literally, it's funny. Like people talk about trailer parks. Like
I've lived in trailer
we
parks.
lived in multiple. I forgot. Yeah, we lived
Several.
in multiple trailer parks. Yeah.
Several.
Yeah,
Yeah.
several. That's funny. Uh yeah, so the really yeah, no, this actually is a good closer because we can kind of I think this is another thing that is really the conclusion that we should come to in my opinion after all of this is that this election was a lot closer than
Yeah.
like everybody is making it out to be.
Right. It
It was
wasn't a
really
landslide.
fucking close.
Yeah. Um, oh, that actually makes me I don't think I brought up my first point is that, and I'm sorry to go back to that, but I'm not surprised by Trump winning because I live in Western Pennsylvania.
I'm
So
also
like,
not surprised by him barely winning.
yes, I agree.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's just I okay, and actually I was gonna bring this up. My barber, the guy who cuts my hair, and I'm very particular about getting my hair cut. Um, I've gone to him for since I moved to Pittsburgh, and he's roughly our age, face tats, tatted all up. Awesome,
Sorry.
yeah, smokes a ton of weed. Yeah, he's like the coolest dude ever, except he thinks immigrants are ruining our country and Trump is the best thing ever. So,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like his popularity is undeniable, and I don't get it.
Yeah. He's popular with about 70 million Americans, or
Yep.
at this point, about like 80. He got 70.
Yep.
But I'm
Yep.
saying he's and that's only the voting populace. Like again, like his popularity will never ever be greater than like 50%. And I hate to get into the sublantics of like numbers, but like literally, like if we're talking about his popularity, I would say he his popularity has never been more than half the country likes him and half the country doesn't like him.
So, and I think our family is a great example of this because I'm going to break it down for you real quick. Sean Lewis, his mom Donna, his brother Will, Charlie, um, fucking Jerry, all voted for Trump. You know
Yeah.
who voted for Kamala? Me, you, Aunt Sue, mom, her two kids, probably Kelly and fucking
Alex.
Shake and
Yeah.
Alex. Yeah, so
So more
that's our
again,
family. That's how
dude.
divided our family is.
But well, okay, yeah, and I think honestly, well, yeah, and you didn't bring up like Cook or Carol, and yeah, our family is huge, and so the other thing is everybody you brought up, wait, are Indiana people, people
No,
that
no, no, no,
voted for Mike Pence.
no. I brought
Okay,
up an
one.
equal amount. Sorry, shut up. I brought up Trump people and Kamala people. Kamala people was me, you, mom, Alex, Kelly, fucking Shake, Sue. Those are the people I brought up. And then on the other
Well,
side, Yep. And
All
yes,
of
you're
the
right.
people
We're
who
all
bring
over the
up
place.
who are the Trump
Yep.
supporters.
All
Am I,
from Indiana.
they're literally just agreeing with what I said. Yeah.
No, you're right. They're all the Trump people are Indianans. Yep.
I bet a lot of those people voted for Mike Pence. So yeah, that's
Yep.
actually
Yep.
something. If
Yep.
we had done Thanksgiving with them, I probably would have played it light with the politics. But being, dude, the Indiana, I just, yeah, it's another one of those historical topics that I know way too much about. The whole Mike Pence conservative Republican thing, and dude, our family is from Indiana. He was the governor of Indiana.
I know that. This is my thing is Cody was born in Florida. Ron DeSantis is the governor of Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. We
So
were born in California.
yeah, Newsom should be our next president. So, anyways,
I'd vote for him.
me too.
Pete, if Mayor Pete wasn't gay, he'd probably be like front runner in the Democratic Party.
I I want a
I love
Newsom
him.
Buttigieg ticket is what I want.
Yes, Newsom booty. That I think I said this to Rosenberg actually. We were
All
talking.
right.
I was like, "Who's going to be the next front runner? Who's going to be our next Obama?" Because that's what we need. Like the
Yep,
Republicans
I
have
agree.
Trump, and they've been riding that for a while, and it's going
And
to be
we had
fun to
Obama.
see what happens when he's gone. But yeah, who's our next Obama? Because yeah,
Yeah, we had Obama. Oh, I voted for him twice. I know you voted for him twice. So
yeah,
yeah,
I love Obama. It reminds me of Deadpool in the new. He's like, I'm the Jesus of MT. Yeah.
yeah, right. All right. So with that being said,
Knowledge is power.